How you doing, guys? Name is Harry. Welcome to my world. All right, listen up. I'm about to hit you guys with some cold, hard truths. We all grew up with some dumb, hard beliefs. You know, the kind of beliefs that only made sense when you were 8 years old and had a slightly questionable understanding of the world. I'm talking about the moments when you thought you were the smartest kid in the room, only to grow up and realize that you were only actually the punchline. Don't worry, I'm here to share my embarrassing journey with you. Maybe you'll reveal some of yours as well. And trust me, some of this are so cringeworthy. So buckle up and let's drive into the top 10 myths that I believed as a kid. And spoiler alert, I am still very embarrassed at some of this. All actually. Myth number one, the ice cream truck was a special event for me and me alone. Okay, so we're gonna start with this big one. As a kid, I genuinely believed that the ice cream truck came to my neighborhood for me and me alone. Anytime I saw this guy pull up, it was like, Harry, your best friend is here. I swear. Every time it rolled down the street, I thought to myself, okay, here comes my personal chauffeur, the ice cream man. And I had a big smile on my face. And occasionally, the guy would even give me like a free cone. He'll just toss me one, honestly. And that just made me feel good. And anytime I go and ask my parents for money, to buy, and they don't want to give me, I just throw a tantrum because I feel like I have like what shall I say, a loyalty to this guy. This guy's a nice guy. He gives me free ice cream cones, So I wasn't hearing that stuff about my mom saying, no, she has no money today or they had too much ice cream to drink. I will throw a fit until they give me that money and I'll go and buy my ice cream. Fast forward, I grew up and I learned that I wasn't the only one who was getting that treatment. This guy was just servicing the whole neighborhood. I spoke to a few friends of mine and they had exactly the same thing to say. So it just shattered my heart to know that I wasn't that special. This guy was just like, going about doing his day-to-day stuff. I felt like an absolute fool, guys, man. But after much therapy, I'm getting better now. And now I'll pass it on to my kid. My kid is the one going through this now. Someday she'll be here telling her story as well. Well, not days, some years, I'm saying. So, number two, eating watermelon will make a tree grow inside of me. I don't know how I believe this one, I swear. This was a classic one. My mum, she told me that if I swallowed a watermelon seed, then a watermelon tree will grow inside me. She did, that woman. And I believed it. I believed it. Like I was supposed to start sprouting vines and melons in my stomach. So what did I do? I spent years trying to pick out every seed from every watermelon that I ate. I'm talking here, guys, precious moments of my childhood. Moments that I could have spent, trying to become a scientist, an astronaut. I spent them, trying to pick watermelon seeds so that they don't grow inside of me. Mom, I'm going to get you for this. I'd sit there meticulously picking out seeds like a tree surgeon. And the funny thing is I felt proud, as well. I'm thinking, hey, I'm preventing all those trees from growing inside me. So, Mom, thanks, but no thanks for that one. Great memory. Great one. The next one that I remember is my number three myth. If you swallowed gum, it stayed in your stomach for 7 years. Oh, the horrors of chewing gum. And the funny thing is, every time I chewed gum, right, it was so, that sugary feeling was so strong that I wanted to swallow it. It was like a battle between my throat and my mouth. I'm trying to swallow that. Then I remember, that if I do that, it will stay in my stomach for 7 years. I can hear my mom's voice now. Don't swallow that gum. It will stay in your stomach for 7 years. My mom, you see, she played a big part, in all those myths that I had. And I'm going to get her for this, man. I'm going to prank her one of these days. I remember being terrified of gum. I'd chew it for hours, then I'd spit it out like it was a ticking time bomb. It's like, no way are you going to stay in my stomach for 7 years. I was convinced I'd be the first kid to have a stomach, filled with gum like a gum factory. Crazy, I tell you guys. I thought my stomach was going to turn into a gum graveyard. That's how bad it was. Like I'd open my mouth and boom, out will like pop a 7-year gumball that big coming right inside of me. And I tell you what happened, right? When I was like, I think I was 16, I had my appendix taken out. And I actually believed then that it was all that gum that I swallowed that, that's why my appendix had to be taken out. I believe that. I was 16 years old. I still believe that because I was talking to somebody and he knew that I used to like chew gum a lot. And he said, it was all that gum you were chewing. And that's what got stuck in your intestines. And that's why they had to like take out your appendix. So I haven't actually checked that out. So this one, I'm not 100% sure if it's a myth or not, if it actually stays in your stomach when you swallow too much gum. I think I need to check that one out. But I had that belief right from being a kid. So now, number 4. This one had me stressed for years, guys. Years. You know, when you're a kid and you lose a sock, and your parents always act exactly like they knew where the sock is or where it went to. Like it was a sock mystery that only they could solve. Columbo to the rescue. Here's your sock. Well, I actually believe that my parents were like in some kind of like sock secret conspiracy. I swear I did. I mean, I was convinced there was like some kind of like sock black market where lost socks go to live out their lives. And my parents were just trying to protect me from the truth. And now here's the kicker. My parents didn't know either. The socks, they just disappeared. They always disappear. And even until today, they still do. As I'm talking right now, I've got 2 different pairs on. I got a blue one and I got a black one. You know, the colors are a bit close, so I can get away with it. But that is still happening today. But still, there was a myth behind that. Number 5 myth. The tooth fairy was actually a fairy with wings. This one is interesting because I got a 7-year-old now, and she's lost 3 teeth now, and she's like heavily into this tooth fairy thing. Always going under the pillow to see what's there. How much money she has and everything. Anyway, I'm going to talk about my own myth. At that time when I was like growing up, as a kid, I was actually convinced that there was like a magical fairy who would swoop into my room at night, collect my lost teeth, and leave me money. Just like my daughter now. Like this tiny winged creature was just out there doing nightly deliveries to kids all over the world. Mental. And let's be honest, I was quite offended when I eventually discovered it was my mum or my parents who were like sneaking into my room in the middle of the night, and leaving some money under my pillow. That wasn't very, very nice. You don't do that to a child. But hey, I'll give credit to where credit is due. The night fairy never got caught, which was like something in itself, because I did all kinds of things, like staying up and trying to see if I actually like lay my eyes on the tooth fairy. I never did. So yeah, I think a bit of work went into that. So maybe I shouldn't be so hard on them for that one. Now, number 6 is interesting. I have to check my face actually to see. I don't think I got a long face. No, I don't think so. And this one is, if you made a face too long, it actually gets stuck that way. Don't even get me started on this one. My mom used to tell me that if I made a funny face and held it too long, my face will stay that way forever. It will get stuck. Yeah, like my face was going to be like permanently frozen in whatever bizarre expression I made. But I believed it. Honestly, I should have gotten a medal for my award-winning Frozen that thankfully were never frozen. Another thanks to my parents. It's amazing how most of this myth, have things to do with my parents. Anyway, I'm going to move on to number 7 now. Now, this one is a bit dumb, really. If you jump on the bed, you'd get hurt. There's a bit of like truth and not so truth in that one, because you could get hurt if you jump on the bed. You can twist your ankle, or you could like my daughter once, she jumped and then she stumbled, fell on the floor and banged her head, had a cut eye. So there's a bit of truth in that one. But in my case, that myth haunted me as a kid. I was so terrified that if I jumped on my bed, I'd end up with a concussion or something equally dramatic. I'm not sure what was more dangerous, the jumping or my overprotective parents. As an adult, I now realize that I can jump on my bed all I want. Although, as I said to you, I think it's 50-50 because, you can twist your ankle doing that stuff, man. I had a friend who was like jumping. He was on a holiday and he was just like messing about with his daughter, his little daughter. He was jumping on the bed and he jumped so high and the ceiling fan, which was like on at the time, it slashed his face. So maybe that one I don't feel too silly about. Maybe my parents had a point with that one. So I'm going to give them this one. Now, number 8, this one, definitely, I remember my mom, she was behind this one. And it was that the TV remote was a magical object. I used to think it was a magical artifact, honestly. I mean, my parents, they never let me touch it, my mom in particular. I swear it was treated like it was the crown jewels in the house. I remember having this argument with my mom, I wanted to like change the channel and she was like saying, no, go and change the channel yourself. And I'm like, but we got a remote control here. Why did you buy this if we're not supposed to use it? And she goes, don't get licked with me, young man. Go and face the wall. I swear, I remember that like it was yesterday. And they will always hold it. They will always change the channel with it. But I or my siblings, we couldn't do that. I didn't understand that. It was like they had this control over the universe or something, And I was thinking to myself, has this thing got some kind of like magical power that they're protecting us from? Because why will they hold it and we can hold it? But then I got older and I realized it wasn't magic. It was just buttons and a battery in there. Can you imagine that? So there was a day that I finally realized that now, okay, so now I'm in charge now. I can do this as well. I can take this button and control this TV and control this gadget. It was a beautiful time. I think I was about, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years old or something. But yeah, that's a sweet memory. My number 9 myth as a child that I stupidly believed was that the sun was this giant light bulb. I can still see it now. You're a kid and someone tells you that the sun is this giant light bulb in the sky. I believed it, no question. I did. I'm over here, picturing this massive giant light bulb that somebody was just like flicking on like it was a light switch. Boom, the sun is out, and then boom, it's gone and the moon is out. It's getting darker. I honestly believe that the sun, that it was being controlled by somebody. It had this on and off switch and you just flicked it and you got whatever you wanted, whatever you ordered for. That was the level of genius I was operating at as a kid. Now, spoiler alert, there was no device switch as such. But if there was, I'd probably break it, like every device that I broke at that time, My parents, they had to like replace things like every fortnight in our home. I was always trying to get to the bottom. How does this work? What is this about? Why does this work like that? So I probably would have done something to the sun, and like maybe relegated it somewhere permanently if it happened to be so, and that the sun was really controlled by a light switch. Thankfully, it wasn't. Now, my final myth was that there was a monster under my bed and it only came out at night. This is not a joke, guys. I believe that. And even the thought of that now scares the hell out of me. I was absolutely sure there was something lurking under there, ready to pull me into the abyss if I wasn't careful. So I'd throw my blanket off the bed, jump in like I was like an Olympic athlete, and just pray that I wouldn't be yanked into the void. Of course, nothing ever came out. But in my mind, honestly, I kind of missed the simplicity of believing in monsters. Now, the only thing I'm afraid of right now as an adult is checking my bank account balance on a Monday morning. Actually, it's Monday today, so I think I should be checking now to see how deep I am into the abyss. Wow. So there you are, guys. 10 myths that I absolutely believed as a kid. And honestly, some of them still haunt me today. But hey, we all had our moments, right? What were the things you believed in as a kid that made you face palm now? Leave them in the comments and let's laugh together. You're not going to laugh at me alone, We're in this love together. Remember, you're not alone. We've all been there. Until next time, keep questioning everything, and maybe don't trust your parents as much. Take care. Hope you enjoyed yourself. See you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.